And welcome back. There are several myths and misconceptions when it comes to children and autism.
In her book, The Parent's Guide to Autism, author Anne Carroll Sharples provides practical tips and strategies to help support a child through major milestones and nurture their development. She joins us now. And you also help guide parents who all of a sudden are being exposed to a world they know very little about, and it's really quite the process to navigate through it all.
Absolutely. Autism affects the entire family. So once a parent finds out that their child has autism, their primary focus is on that and finding interventions and therapies that can help them. So if you think about the everyday stressors that families go through, and parents in particular, like the everyday chores such as dinner preparation, homework, bedtime, all of these things are amplified when you have a child who has difficulty going to sleep and wakes up at 2 a.m. Parents begin this shift of sleeping where someone is up at 2 a.m. to ensure that their child is safe. You add to that the emotional strains and stressors of a family not being able to partake in activities as a unit together. You know, there's relationships that are strained between siblings and parents, and then couple relationships. And on top of all of that, think about the difficulties getting services, accessing services, you know, not just at the beginning stage when diagnosis is made, but through their school age and into adulthood.
Yeah, well, let's talk a bit about that, because as you mentioned, this really does affect the entire family. And what should you, I guess, prioritize as a family?
You want to prioritize helping your child and staying together as a family unit. There's so many things that we can do as a society in order to help families. If you think about the way services are currently accessed, I think we need, in my personal opinion, a primary focus on autistic care. If we create these centers of excellence and we look at the expertise and the knowledge that we currently have, and we think of best practices, we could have centers of excellence duplicated and standardized across the province. We can look at the knowledge and expertise we have and get a set of best practices out there. And having centers of excellence will eliminate the silo effect, and they will have and align objectives so that we can support our families and our children living with autism.
Speaking of objectives and treating your child and getting the proper resources in place, when you do have a child with autism, should you set expectations or not at all? Milestones that you can check them off like we do even with non-autistic children with regards to growth and other intellectual abilities?
I think what we need to know first and foremost is the developmental milestones. So if we suspect that our child from birth is not meeting those milestones, it would be important to know them. Setting goals and objectives, setting realistic goals and objectives, absolutely. The sky is the limit. Our children always surprise us. The kids that I work with never cease to amaze me in terms of their abilities and things that they're capable of.
Mm-hmm. Anne Carroll, talk to us a bit about what siblings can do to help a brother or a sister, because I have to imagine it's pretty tough on them as well. Absolutely.
Open communication in a family is critical. Being flexible, and so many siblings are flexible. Mm-hmm. You know, supporting in all ways, and then going to groups and therapy groups for other siblings who are sharing similar situations.
Is it important for parents to kind of explain to the others in the family what's going on and what's happening here? Because as we all know, kids can be so tough. They can be cruel at times, even to their own siblings.
Absolutely. Actually, there was a story online surfacing over the weekend, and it was a family that was traveling on a plane, and one of the children had autism and was having a really, really tough time, and someone sitting nearby made a comment that wasn't the kindest comment. And this mom, trying to support her child, stood up, and she had a t-shirt on. She said, it said and read, "My child has autism. Mm-hmm. Questions are welcome. Parenting advice is not."
Beautiful shirt and a beautiful book. Thank you so much, Anne Carroll Sharples. Really appreciate coming in this morning.